have a monkey in your pants?
That tastes strange. I've not drank Iron Brew for a while because I was ill. Maybe my body is like rejecting it somehow because of my illness. That'd be fucking scary. Still got a cough. Excuse me. And I probably realise it looks like I always wear this jumper. Maybe it's my YouTube jumper, but I don't. It's a case of I only maybe wear it a couple of hours at a time at the most, and it's the warmest, coziest jumper I've got. So I just sometimes come in from work and chuck it on. Ugh. Yeah. So, if I do a sort of a random pure bollocks video, this is number one. Spectrum. This is the one that I showed in the last video that was faulty. Why is it moving about? Oh yeah, I didn't screw the motherboard back in. I was going to say, why is it rattling about? Some people said, excuse me, I'm really rude, I'm sorry. Some people said, what did the fox say? I've not even got another burper, that would have been quite funny. Some people said, don't chuck out, it's probably not broken. A, the tape drive wasn't probably working because the belts had snapped or whatever. Now, I know about replacing the belts and that because I've done it in Mother too, so that wouldn't have been an issue. And some other people said it was probably loose solder or bad solder joints or whatever you want to call them, dry solder for the RF sort of side of things, so that's probably why that's not working. So I opened it up. Now I've closed it again for a reason that I'll get onto. I did open it up and I got the tape drive working relatively easily. A bit of the pause mechanism seemed to be jammed in place and it was forced up against one of the wheels, the big wheel that the tape drive belt goes around, if that makes sense. So it was, you could move it with your finger, but you could tell it was really hard to turn, so it obviously wasn't able to turn it because it thought it was locked in place. Now, with the pause button pressed, it doesn't work now because I disabled it, if you like. With the pause button pressed or depressed, it still wasn't releasing this little thing that was pressed up against it. So I basically brute force snapped a little bit that was jammed up against it, hence why the pause button doesn't stay in place anymore. But that fixed the tape drive side of it. That was working totally fine, so I thought, cool, 1 out of 2 things fixed. We're on a fucking roll here, but not so much. But so took out the motherboard, had a look at the solder joints where the RF box solders onto the motherboard. Couldn't see anything obvious. Took the lid off where the RF sort of box is, if you like. Took the lid off there. There's some resistors, capacitors, and whatnot in there. Little bits and bobs. There's a bit of play on the aerial, if you like, the lead inside the RF box when you wiggle it, but again, all the solder looked fine in there. I couldn't see anything obvious. I'm farting and burping like a fucker, I'm sorry. So I thought, right, I don't know what's wrong with that, but I couldn't see anything obvious at all, and I was like, no, can't be bothered. There's a really small sort of area with quite a few components that are wedged in there. And I was like, I'm not going to bother with that anymore. So I thought, I'll try the RGB output, if you like, now that the tape drive was working, and see if that was working. I do have, obviously, I have the RGB cables for the black and the grey +2 Spectrum because they both use a different cable. And at the point when I was doing that, I plugged it in, and on the telly all there was like this sort of grey Spectrum screen but with no writing or anything on it, and I like a noise. And if I thought I would have recorded it and shown you it here on the telly screen right now, but I never sort of noise and a couple of artifacts on the screen, and no buttons would make anything happen, or no noise or anything like that. And at the same time, I just so happened to, I don't know why, but I had my finger on the CPU and it was ridiculously roasting hot. And it does have a sort of a makeshift heatsink on it from factory. It's pretty winky wonky looking thing, but it was roasting hot. So came to the conclusion that obviously the tape drive, fixed it, RF box, the whole thing probably needed a new one resoldered on. I don't know what the deal was with it, or it obviously possibly a problem with the CPU itself, which was causing the problem with that, and the RGB out was not working for shit at all. It was buzzing and artifacts on the screen. So conclusion is either the PCB of it was fucked or the CPU was fucked. But something was fucked basically, and it was a issue 1 motherboard in it. So it's probably one of the earliest +2 machines, and it's gone to Spectrum heaven in the sky. I still love it though, but my 4-year-old son has decided to use it as a plaything. Which, to be fair, if I was 4, I would have loved playing with this, even though it technically doesn't really do anything. He likes putting the tape in and out, and I had a spare copy of Robocop. So he likes playing with it, that keeps him happy. And it's still in the house and not in the bins, that's the main thing, but it's pretty fun. So I thought I'd come on and say that because a few people have said, I will buy it off you because I'll just run it off the RGB and I can easily fix the tape deck and don't throw it out, but I'm 99.9% certain the CPU or the PCB or the motherboard, whatever you want to call it, is pretty fucked up, to say the least. So that's that. Another thing, I've just this evening gone back through my few videos because obviously I was ill and whatnot, and I've replied to quite a few comments. So if you wondered why I hadn't replied to your comments as per normal, because I usually do, it wasn't being a rude twat, it's because I was obviously off ill. And anybody who's got a Wii U, add me. My name is Monkey Spaz. I know in one other video, some people, I am still sort of on screen. Hold on, what the fuck? Get back in the stand. Some people gave me their Wii U names. The majority of yes, I could find and I added you, but there was a couple of people who I couldn't find for whatever reason. But feel free to search for me. It's Monkey Spaz and request me as a friend, and I will add you. Excuse me, I'm really rude. I'm sorry. And another thing today is I got a package in the post. This is the second time I've done this little bit of the video because the first time I showed you my fucking address. Not very clever. Although it was my work address, it's still my address. And when I got this, I was like, it's quite squidgy and airy, and I was like, what have I bought? Have I bought something that I forgot about in that SNES game from another country that I forgot about, and it's just turned up now. And I was like, holy fuck. And lo and behold, it was no SNES game. It was as a gift from fellow YouTuber, Mr. Retro Dave Nintendo himself. I'll put a link down to his channel down below. Bad writing. Well, I can read it, it's not that bad. It says, James, here's a little something to say. Thank you for the support and friendship over the last year on YouTube. Cheers, Retro Dave Nintendo. Just to prove that I'm not totally taking the piss about his writing skills. That's it there. We'll blame the pen. But his little Pez Mario. See this. First of all, Dave, thank you very much. No need at all. Enjoyed interacting with you. I bought Spectrum off you. Have I done a trade? I don't think so, but we've Skyped once or twice, spoke to you on the phone once or twice as well. I'm quite hard to pin down sometimes, but we have spoken whatever on the camera and whatnot. And Akash is one of my YouTube friends, so you didn't need to send me this. Very much appreciated. I don't even know how much it costs you in post. Probably more than what this costs. I do not know. But seriously, much appreciated. But I don't know what you're starting, because are people who fucking speak to me gonna expect little presents in the post? Because that's not gonna happen. It's not happening. But I was in two minds what to do with this. I was like, shall I just keep it? Because it's fucking Super Mario. And it's like, I'll just keep it on the shelf. But then I'd be like, when's it go out of date? Goes out of date 2015, November. But I was like, but then it'll go out of date and then I can't eat it. And then my wife saw it and she went, are you going to give it to Isaac? Who's my son? And I was like, yeah, okay then. So that's what I've got to do. The wife said so. But no seriousness, Dave, seriously, I can't speak, can I? No seriousness, Dave. Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Sounds like I'm doing some farewell speech. It's been good fun knowing you, calling you a friend on YouTube, and I'll hopefully see you in Blackpool, and I have a drink with you or whatnot. But thank you very much again. It's not mine, it's now my fucking son's, apparently. But that's it, guys. Things start to slowly get back to normal with my channel now that I'm beginning to feel a little bit better. I've still got a bit of a chesty, non-breathing, coffee cold issue. A coffee cold? You know what I mean. But I'm certainly getting more or less back to normal. But yes, so normal services shall resume henceforth with this. I'm being phoned. Look, I'll do this live, right? Fucking, I'll keep getting phoned by these fuckers.
From Halifax Fraud Prevention, please press any number to continue.
No. Fuck you. How'd you delete?
Hello. This is an important call from Halifax Fraud Prevent Fraud. It's important you respond to this message. Please call our automated service.
How'd you even delete it? I wouldn't even let me delete it. I keep getting phone calls for a Mr. Sharif Mercano on my phone. I have done for fucking months. It stopped for a while, but debt companies, that's Halifax fraud thing or something. My name is not Mr. Sharif Mercano or whatever. Anyway. Like I say, things start to get back to normal, regular content. I'll reply to comments on my videos as such as I normally would now that I'm feeling better. But as always, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much to any new subscribers who have recently joined. As always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.
Do you have a monkey in your pants?